Are you struggling with co-parenting? Are you aware that you can't co-parent with a manipulative person? In this video, I'm going to share with you some strategies that you can put in place to help you from losing your mind. Hello, I'm Elizabeth, author of Finding Lily and the A to Z of Emotional Abuse. On this channel, I talk about healing from emotional abuse and divorcing emotionally from the abuser. I want to remind you that love should be unconditional, and divorcing emotionally and healing the original wound is life-changing. I want to help you understand and process what's happening inside you and help you discover the best tools to heal on a deeper level, becoming the best version of yourself. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share the content. If you're returning, welcome back and thank you. And thank you to all my new subscribers over the last few months. It's been amazing. Thank you for your support. Just helping getting that message out. The more people that see this, the more people that can heal on that deeper level. Thank you. Are you struggling with co-parenting? So when you come out of a toxic or emotionally abusive relationship and you have children together, you can't go no contact. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some strategies to help you co-parent and save your sanity. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to share with you some information that will help you and your children now and in the future. And if you've experienced anything that you think will be helpful to other people, please add it in the comments box below. When we think about families, we might see them as a stronger unit, taking care and supporting each other. Each of them being equal and deserving. But this isn't always the case, and when this occurs, it causes trauma, much like a physical wound, but this goes unnoticed. I call this the original wound, and it's the original wound that makes the abuse in our adult relationships feel okay. Healthy people divorce, relationships break down, they end for lots of different reasons. And these couples will continue to work together to support each other, ensure that their children have a healthy upbringing. You may feel the child or children are better seeing two happy parents living apart rather than two unhappy parents living together. If you're coming out of emotionally abusive or toxic relationship, then this isn't going to be the case. And unfortunately, co-parenting is another way that the abuser can cause chaos in your life. The first thing I want you to remember is that you're not a team. And if you look at your relationship, you might see now that you never were. Your children might have been used as pawns, and they will continue to be so if that's the case. And I'm going to link my videos on narcissistic parents and narcissistic mothers in the description box below. You will not be able to come together for the children. The emotionally abusive parent will always see the child or children as tools to manipulate you. They are not mature. They are not responsible adults. They have no respect for anyone else. And if you allow this abuse to continue into this dynamic of the relationship, it's something that they will always do. And remember, as parents, you have the possibility in the future of attending weddings and christenings and baptisms, graduations, births of grandchildren. There's going to be so many events in the future that they're going to be at. And you are still in a relationship with them. And a relationship is a way in which two or more people or things are connected, or a state of being connected. And the second thing to remember is that you are no longer married. You don't have to listen to them. You are now responsible for your life and how you choose to live it. They will use your children as pawns. They will try and trigger you. They will try and get a reaction from you. They have lost a form of supply. Now, you might not have been a great form of supply towards the end of the relationship, but you were one, and the divorce process is a supply to them as well. Now that they're losing control, they will start to play games. So they might have already done this. You might have seen the Jekyll and Hyde character as they try everything to get you to respond, to react. They usually start with what's worked before and from the information that they collected from you. And if that doesn't work, then they might be nice and kind. And when that doesn't work, they'll or get a response from you, they'll try another tactic. It might be that they threaten to cause harm to themselves. And if this is the case, please, please, please highlight this to a mental health professional who can help them. And if that isn't their intention and they're just doing it to threaten you, to manipulate you, then that is going to be highlighted as well. It might be that you're able to reach out to another family member, one of their relations, and highlight this to them, or to a close friend of theirs. You need to reach out so that people are aware of this manipulation or potential threat. The third thing I want you to remind yourself is they are emotionally unhealthy. Healthy partners will want you to have closure so that you can both move on. Healthy partners will want your children to live in a healthy environment. Their children's well-being is paramount. Healthy partners will want to make sure that you and your children are supported financially. Unhealthy partners don't want any of this. They may use their children as pawns to hurt you. They may reduce or stop finances. I'm also going to link in the description below my video on financial coercive control. They will also not want you to have closure. Closure means that you can take your life back and they no longer have power and control over you. Giving you closure also means that you are no longer there at the end of a phone, supplying them with attention. As I said, children will be used as pawns. They aren't a great source of supply to the abuser. However, the abuser knows how important a child is to you. So if the abuser is not going to be helpful, they're not going to give you closure. They still want to control you, and they're going to do this via the children, and they want to control your finances. And you're concerned about the way this will affect your children. What can you do? It's crucial now that you take every opportunity to heal emotionally. You need to remember who you are. You need to build up your self-esteem and see your worth. The abuser saw your worth, but they drained you of everything, every ounce, and now they've moved on. Use the time that your ex has the children to put in place techniques that support your healing. They will create scenarios that trigger you, and they may even set up a smear campaign with your children. And you might even hear them say they don't want anyone else bringing up their children. Use this time to heal yourself, and you will have a better quality energy for the time you spend with your children. Divorce emotionally, and it will be like a Teflon suit. Their words won't stick. Keep your communication open with your child or your children, and show them what is right and what is wrong. Show them unconditional love. If a child is concerned about what they've heard or they've been told, then say this, she shouldn't have said that. Don't gaslight your children by saying, oh, I'm sure they didn't mean it. If you've experienced your ex-partner's behaviour, you know they probably did mean it. And you're gaslighting your children. Listen to their concerns. Ask them how it made them feel or something similar, and validate these emotions. You might have experienced something similar. It might have been with one of your parents or your siblings, and they've told you, oh, the other parent didn't mean it. They really do love you. And you know deep down that they don't love you. Or you might even gaslight yourself, repeating what you actually heard from the abuser. Oh, they were only kidding. They didn't really mean it. You're too sensitive. And you might be repeating those words back to yourself, and you might be repeating them out to your children. You can't co-parent with an emotionally abusive person or a toxic person. You can parallel parent. This allows high conflict co-parents to maintain a collective parenting responsibility while they're disconnecting from each other personally. This parenting strategy helps parents attain a level of independence that they might not have felt previously, and it helps build a framework for healthy boundaries in shared parenting moving forward. But how would you do that if you are working with a person that just wants to manipulate you and the people close to you. So the emotionally abusive or toxic or controlling partner expects everything to be done their way. Nothing will be their fault. They blame shift to protect their fragile sense of self. They see themselves as somebody with authority, and they don't see their behaviour as controlling. Their children have been trained to enable their behaviour and hide their dysfunction. Their love is conditional. In reality, they don't actually know how to love. Their lives are conditional. So everything has a value and everything is contractual. They use manipulation to get what they want. Any signs of empathy are really based on how this is going to affect them or how they will look. They are unpredictable and emotionally volatile. They hold grudges and they play the victim. They are jealous and they don't allow their children any safe boundaries. I'm going to share with you some techniques to help you parallel parent. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to share with you a must-have for your parenting plan. Having a parent who's high up on the narcissistic spectrum has the potential to create lasting trauma in a child's life. Children are sponges, so they see, hear, feel everything. And up until the age of about 7 or 8, they live in a theta state. So everything they're told, they hear, they see, they feel, they believe is the truth. They also learn this is how you treat people, or this is how you should be treated. As an adult, children may never feel good enough. See parenting like a business contract. Like you would with Grey Rock, take all the emotion out of this relationship. So when you start to understand who they are, you can change your behaviour. This isn't about them breaking down your boundaries. This is about thinking why they are behaving in the way that they are and understanding what is going on inside you, changing the way you respond to their behaviour, their demands. Another thing you can do is have important conversations with yourself. Ask where these emotions are coming from. Healthy people want the best outcome for everybody, and that would include you. Unhealthy people can't do this. They want to hurt you. So check in where it hurts. This is where you're holding the trauma that they've caused you. Or it might be that where you're holding your original wound. I'll post a link to details about the original wound below. They want a reaction, and you not giving them attention is boring for them. They may try so many different techniques, and when something doesn't work, they'll try it a different way. Eventually, they will move on. Find ways of communicating with them. So there are apps that you can get, or you could do it by email, or you could do it by having a WhatsApp group or something like that. Do it so that you've got everything in writing, like a contract. Look back for the patterns. So look back at your relationship. They will be using techniques in this new relationship that you have. This is another version of the relationship. Remember, your children are sponges. You can now change the way you are treated by the abuser. And it stops here, it stops now. You are teaching your children the same. You're showing them how to set boundaries. And you're also showing them how you want to be treated by them as well. You're showing them that it's okay to say no to an abuser. Another important way of parallel parenting is setting boundaries and sticking to them. The abuser loves a boundary. It's like an invitation to them. Please come over and see my nicely painted boundary. And they come over and they say, oh, thank you very much. And they get a little bit jealous of this nice white fence. They want to make it dirty and break it. This boundary represents your power and control, something that you're not supposed to have. They see any agreement as an open invitation to negotiate. Again, you didn't really mean that, and they're going to show you that you didn't. Parenting plan. What parenting plan? So the agreement is in place and they want to change it. The money that has been agreed, they want to change the amount or the day it gets paid. When you say okay once, this can be taken again as an open invitation that they can do this over and over again. You might plan a weekend away. They can't have the children that weekend, or their car is broken down. They're going to be late with a payment. You might be upset over the time that your children stay with the abuser. Then the moment that you start to claim back your power and start to live your life, you'll find that agreement that you were so upset about changes. And not in every case, If something's important to you, they will do their utmost to ruin it and create chaos. So you can't co-parent, but you can parallel parent. Treat this like a business transaction. If you were putting together an agreement with a company, you wouldn't be sharing your personal details. You would remain polite and professional. Set clear boundaries, have set dates and times of the exchange. Do you collect them and drop them back, or will you take it in turns, or will you agree to meet somewhere? They are not guests in your home, so don't allow them into your space. They are a courier. And would you invite a courier to come and rest for a while? A boundary is an invitation to take back control. And they will try everything in their power. Keep a record. Make sure that you adhere to the plan that you created. Pick your battles. If they say they can't have the children on a certain weekend, what will you do? Get this into the plan and make sure there's a condition in place as to how this will be agreed. Are you happy for them to arrange the childcare for that weekend? Or would you keep the children and swap it for a weekend? Have it written down. It can feel very lonely, so make sure that you create routines when you're on your own. Make sure that you put in time for self-care for yourself. Do some grounding and healing. Get your housework done. Pay all your bills, get everything sorted out. So when your children are with you, you've got quality time to spend with them. Ensure you have emotionally healthy people in your life who can act as role models for your children. Encourage active listening in your home. Maybe create new activities with them, new routines. Allow them the time to readjust back into your home. I found colouring is a really good activity for children. It helps them process what's been going on. It allows them to open up with any concerns that they have. Document any concerns you have. Look at patterns, their behaviour before they leave to go and visit the other parent, and what's it like when they get back. Always respond, don't react. Learn techniques and ask for time to think about a situation before replying. Remember, the relationship is with your children. It's not with you. You are no longer married to them. No, this is not fair. Nothing about this relationship was, and nothing ever will be. But you can do your best to show your children how to be a healthier version and how not to repeat the patterns. So I said I was going to share with you a strategy that's going to help you and your children now and in the future. So when you're negotiating your parenting plan, ask for break clauses to be put into the agreement. Something that I wish had been in place when I was sorting out ours. When a company negotiates a contract, that contract will be for a certain period of time. The company wanting the services are saying, I agree not to buy from another supplier for a period of time if you agree to keeping the cost at this price and supply the goods on this day. This parenting plan is no different. Your mindset needs to be that this is a contract now. A child's needs are very different at the age of 5 to what they are at the age of 13. If your child or if your children are younger, you might want to put in a clause every year. You may never need them. You may rock this parenting plan so well that all you need to do is tweak and adjust very, very slightly. However, if you have a parent who sees the agreement as a way of controlling you over the needs of their child or children, it will become very useful. You agree to review the agreement at a certain age or every few years. It might be that you get to a point where you can say, it is working now. However, when our child changes school in, say, 6 months' time, we need to consider some other changes. And then it's a subclause that goes in. By having something that says that you will review should make it easier to open up a conversation. Now, this might be something that your legal team haven't heard of, but don't be put off. Ask for it to be put in there and discuss what are good age gaps to have this inserted at, so you'll review at certain times. As I said, how a child is and their needs are very different at a young age than they are as a teenager. Now, I'm going to also put a link to my brand new workbook, Start Here. This is a guide for divorcing an emotionally abusive person. It has sections that will help you consider all areas when you're preparing for divorce. This includes assets and money as well as the children. So that will be in the description box below. If you have found this video helpful in some way, please like, share and subscribe. As I said earlier, it really just helps get the information out a lot further. I will, as I said, put all the links below in the description box, and if you have any comments, please don't forget to share those below. I'm sending you loads and loads of love.